That disrespect they used to do to shut people down. If you don't believe anything I say in this particular interview, I want you to believe that he will hold you accountable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Bollitv, as you all know, bringing positive spotlight on our community and serving my community. Like I always say, this TV is meant to shine positive spotlight on every good or bad thing in this community. TV does not bring division. TV brings to the people the expression of opposing sides. When you tell your own, your friend must say their own. The only thing that is not allowed on this TV here, nobody will threaten anybody on this TV. Nobody will attack anybody's family on this TV. Nobody, I mean absolutely nobody, will bring their wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband business on the TV. But the camera is for everybody. Whether you're in the church, you do good, you do bad. If you're affecting my community and you get to Bollietv, you will hear it. When you're doing business in the community, Bollitv will bring it to you. But today, our former president, let's put it away, our former president, in the hot seat today, we're going to take it all the way back from the day he lost the election up to today and current events. Grab your popcorn. Grab your popcorn. Popcorns. Leave one in the microwave. So, Mr. President, I would just want you to introduce yourself to my audience real quick here. And then for that, we can proceed with the interview. So the people can hear from you. It's been a while now. I've been really bad for almost 3 years. I don't get you saying lost the election.
My name is Steve Bolay. It's good to be on here. I'd like to greet our people. I'd also like to use this opportunity to express our deepest condolences to family members who's lost their loved ones. We are very sorry on behalf of the community. We're sorry for your loss. We're in prayers with you. We've attended many funerals in the past few weeks or a few months in our community. And so our community is still bereaved. We want to say our condolences. We're sorry for your loss. We're here in prayers in support with you. Whatever we can do as a community, we'll do it to stand with you. Mr. Bolay, it's good to be here today. I know I've been
you're running away from me.
Running away. But finally, I'm here, and I look forward to the conversation.
All right, people, you heard the man. The man said, he said, let me see. He said, better run away from me till I catch you now. Mr. President, we're going to go straight into this interview. No wasting time. I just want to get straight to it. Can you clarify for us the two allegations that I'm about to mention, according to Nestor Meyer in my interview during the weekend of the election, if you can recall? He said while living in Tucson, you took money from the LAA coffers without his consent. And when mentioned it, at the time you and he had a debate, during the time you went against him, you got mad and stopped coming around the area after that, when you lost the election. Is that correct or true? Can we get some clarification first before we can go to the next one?
Well, Bolay, it's good to be here. It's good to have the opportunity to have these conversations. And thanks for providing an opportunity for us to clarify or to provide context to the conversation. First of all, to clarify something, Lester was never in Tucson. Second of all, I served as president in Tucson for the Liberians there, not necessarily Liberian Association, but just for the Liberian community there for almost a year. In fact, during the campaign with Lester, he had mentioned that and when we went to verify it was a lie. Never in my life have I ever taken anything from anyone. According to them, it was all politics. It was propaganda.
So you didn't take money from the LAA coffers?
Oh, no, never. He lied. He admitted that he lied.
Where did he admit that?
He told a couple of people that it was just politics. And the person name he called during the campaign, Levi, we call Levi to verify. And Levi,
which Levi now? Levi from Tucson?
Levi that used to be in Tucson, but he moved out into Texas now. I called Levi, and a couple of people called Levi. Levi said that's a lie. No one told him that. But according to them, they wanted to use that as a political tool, propaganda against me. But after that, we had a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start until today. We have a good relationship. I know a couple of times they reached out to me, and just to provide clarity, can you imagine we lost the election, we still maintain relationships, but during the inauguration, we were not invited.
So Nelson never invited you?
They never invited us. No invitation, nothing. So we still went to meetings. We still attended meetings. We're still part of the community. We're still doing what we're supposed to do. And again, me personally, I don't like to, bring other people or other leaders or whatever it is. Today we still maintain a relationship. And again, his most immediate vice president, John Bernard, they all apologize. John Bernard reached out. We talked about it, and it was unfortunate. And I work with John Bernard. I work with their administration as much as I could. But truth be told, for them, their administration to some extent was affected by the COVID, and so there were not much of in-person meetings. We did all of the meetings for the most part on Zoom. Too much activity by that time. Everything was closed. So I'm not sure why he came up with that assertion. I stayed away. I
understand what you're saying, that they came up, they apologized after that, but many years passed again. Just recently in the debate again, so and put the camera to the man said the same thing again. So is he just lying? Back to the debate, to the election, you're there.
What did he say? Because
the same thing I just told you, that he came around because he went after you for taking money for the coffers, and while you were into from the early coffers, and giving it to somebody. And you saw it right there. I'm doing this video, but I will play it again.
But that is not truth, because
what I'm saying, because you said the man, after they said that, they won the election, they came out, they apologized, said, "Oh, yeah, propaganda."
Right.
But then after they left the election, you guys keep the power now 2 years, so that 4 years total we're talking about.
Right.
The recent election again, when to the election playground again, when I brought the same question, when I asked the question again, he mentioned the same thing. Well, so what they're saying now is it true, or they're lying on you, or continuously lying on you?
Well, again, I'm trying my best not to make this about Lester or.
No, it is not. Listen,
but the truth of the matter is the records are there. I went to the meetings. I attended meetings. I did not stay away from the community. But again, the facts are. It wouldn't make any sense for somebody to say I stayed away from the community. Well, we didn't even have meetings. We have meetings on Zooms.
No, I'm not talking about the community now. I'm not talking about you staying away from the community. You said something here. You said that after they made that allegation against you, what they said you took money for the coffers.
Yes.
For the area coffers in Tucson. When they won the election, they later apologized to you. Because I'm just trying to repeat that. They later apologized.
Most definitely so.
Okay. But this is my thing. After they won, that was 2 years.
Right.
They apologized to you, right? After your 2 years, they total 4 years.
Sure.
So the recent election we're having, when I showed camera to the man again, the man brought the same thing. He said the man said the reason why he stayed away from them is because he came after you for that same money business. What he's saying, that they apologized to you for 4 years ago. So that's what I want my audience to understand. They kind of confuse you, because you say they apologize to you 2 years after they won.
Right.
They continue to apologize. The vice president for him, John Bernard, reached out to you, apologize.
John Bernard reached out.
So then why he's still mentioning it 4 years after?
Well, that maybe that's a question that you probably need to ask him. Okay. But here is something that I wanted to point out, to be able to close up maybe on this subject. And this is
now you get them more, so you get closer.
No, because
for you, not for me.
Because at the end of the day, it's he say, I say, But
I'm just trying to put it now.
The facts exist, and one of the facts here is they reached out to me.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, they reached out to me through the Vice President John Bernard, and we had a lengthy conversation. And I told John Bernard, I said, John Bernard, I'm an honorable man. I don't do somebody lie on me in public, and then you go behind a horse to apologize. I don't do that. And I told them straight up, I said, Lester, we'll have to go in public and refute that statement.
Has he done it?
No, he didn't do it. And so guess what? Guess what they wanted me to do? What do you
do?
After they lost the elections, and I think they started to have some friction, and according to them, they wanted to unite. But in the unity,
they did not apologize to you.
In the unity, first of all, they did not even invite us to, like I said, the inauguration. Okay. We're not invited. But then they wanted to use back channels to do the apology.
Nah,
so I told him yes, and that's where maybe their resentment, his resentment is. I wouldn't say there because I know for a fact John Bernard and the other people they were honorable, including Bebo, and I'll give credit to Bebo on that, including Bebo because Bebo was part of the team and later resigned, including Bebo, you know. And I told them straight up. I said, gentlemen, I don't do behind the horse apology. If you do the damage in public, go in public and rectify it. So whatever you guys are saying here, I take it at face value. I respect you guys for manning up, but I am not putting my name on anything until Lester can go. Now Lester said it on your. Yeah, Lester start sending yours. Let him man up. Exactly so. And up until today, I stand by that. I maintain a personal relationship with Lester. We're cool. We're brothers. It's nothing personal. But when it comes to my public image, for me to work with Lester, he has to go by and retract that statement. And I've maintained that position until today. I don't play that thing. What we do, you know, you do raw in the public, they come behind you beg. I don't do that. Oh, let's just move on. I don't do that.
That's correct.
So, yeah, so that's what happened.
All right, so Mr. President, this brings me to my next question. According to the current president, he invited you guys to the Unity Valentine's Ball that was held in February.
Right.
You guys did not show up. You didn't show up. The vice president didn't show up. Nobody from your administration show up after your loss to the men. Don't you think people will say, oh, but I sit in the nation will say, oh, soon the men lost again, can't ride you. Why were you? You were not there. Your VP was not there. Nobody else was there.
Well, yeah. as funny as it sounds, these are realistic questions, right?
Yeah.
And these are talking points that people could use to tarnish the names or reputations of people, right?
Myself, I didn't see you there, so I was there too now.
So first thing first here is this. We had no prior notice to the Valentine's Day program. And mind you, in this country, and as everyone may be aware, we have plans for our lives. And especially things like Valentine and other things, you know, those are important dates and times, right? You don't plan something 3 weeks and say I should be there. Yes, the president reached out to me via phone. First thing first, that's what they reached out to first. It was the vice president who reached out to me and said, I still got a message here. I would need a picture from you, a nice picture from you and the from you so that we can face a flyer for Unity ball. So I said, which Unity ball? There was no fight. You won. We immediately congratulate you guys. In fact, the Sunday proceeding, I called the president for us to have a conversation, for me to turn over some things. The week's proceeding, I turned over some things. And for the record's sake, when the president called me about this Valentine ball, before they started as Unity ball, later on they changed it to Valentine ball. There were two different nomenclatures that were used.
Yeah, Unity ball. Valentine's Day Unity ball.
They started as unit. That first, the one that was brought up to me was Unity ball. Okay. So I told them, quite frankly, that there was nothing such as unity because there was no fight. The community was together, and the community voted, and we respect the vote of the community. So fast forward, I called the president. I told the president, I said, unfortunately, my schedule cannot permit me to be there. But mind you, we had already dissolved our team after the election. I had no control or jurisdiction over the rest of the team members to say they will be there. I mean, after an election, when one party wins or one group wins, the other group is automatically dissolved. So you can't say our entire group did not show up. People have individual things that they do. If you reach out to them, they can speak on it. But I told him personally, and we had this conversation, and he was okay with it. So it's with him, with them, I give them credit that, yes, they reach out to us. They reach out to me personally, you know, both the vice president and him reached out to me. But I had told them that I had prior schedules and things, the time they were planning it. So I was out of town. I was not even in town. I was out of town. So I did tell him, I gave him my schedule, and he and I were on the phone back to back with it. So I'm not even sure why they're even bringing it up and so forth. But again, I also told him in the same context that if they do the honorable thing, in that same thing, I reminded him, he should please keep me posted on the inauguration so that I could be able to be in town because I'm moving in and out of town. And so, even for the inauguration, again, credit to them, as opposed to Lester Myers, they invited us. Okay. You know, even though it was last minute, but they invited us. We talked about it verbally. When they even changed the date, I had to change my ticket and change my plane so that I could accommodate them to be here for the inauguration. So, and that's what happened.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
And Mr. President, when you guys were leaving, I heard you wrote Mr. Myers a letter, right?
When we were leaving?
When Mr. Myers won, as I learned, you said you wrote him a letter.
I wrote him a letter?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm going to or audit letter. That letter was about audit. Yeah. So according to reliable sources, they said that. No, I'm sorry. What was the reason? I'm sorry. I got the question wrong because I got it from a source. What was the reason why you wrote the bill to audit Mr. Myers? That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. What was the reason as to why you wrote the bill? Because the board chair even confirmed that they got a letter from you. Other members, former members of the board, like Maurice Valley, even said yes, they got a letter from you. What was the reason why you wrote that? Why you wanted the Myers administration audited?
Well, I think that's a good question. I think first thing I want to clarify is asking for an audit does not mean that somebody committed a crime or
which I agree with you 100%.
Or there was something wrong done, right? I think sometimes audits, I believe, sometimes audits are meant to either see where there are mistakes, where we are, before we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
And in our administration, what I would say is we followed the Constitution to the letter. And where we were not in place in line with the Constitution, when we were reminded, we came back in line. And so one of the things we did, and we strived to do, because the Constitution talks about it highly, is to ensure that we keep up with the daily activities, making sure that the body makes that decision. And so when we took over, in order to, because on our mantra or our agenda, we wanted transparency and accountability. We did. And so in order to do that, we had to let the librarian pool know what we met there and what we were inquiring as a new administration and what to expect. And so we went into the meeting. In fact, it wasn't our administration that did it. It was the body that
But the
voted.
letter came from you, Mr. President.
Yes, but that's how it's done constitutionally, though.
Okay, so
the body, the first step is we brought into our leadership meeting.
mm-hmm.
We voted on it as leaders that, hey guys, we can come in saying they say I say. Let's audit and find out what we met there, even though we're given a certain amount. Let's audit and find out what we met there, what we need to do, and so forth. Because something that maybe they did not give you the genesis of this is, and I was not part of the transitional or the people that were doing the coordinations.
Okay.
But when the Lester Myers team dropped out of the race against us, we were just left there. And so documents and other things were not turned over, right? Even the bank account and so forth. I don't know that part, quite honestly speaking. I don't know what was the qualms or the issue was.
Nothing, bank account, nothing, anything off there.
No. Bank account was not turned over to us.
Immediately.
It was not turned over to us at all. Website was not turned over to us.
Did they have a website?
Yes, the community had a website.
Well, your vice president in the interview, after I spoke to him, he said he had a website, but no, I didn't get any evidence from him or your team yet.
Yeah, but we couldn't provide evidences. We know of the existence of the website.
What was the website called?
I think something with LAA and so forth. I can definitely get it from GoDaddy or reach out to John Bernard. They will give me the full information and so forth. But that's aside the point. I'm trying to get to the genesis of why the auditing came around.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because we did not go through a smooth transition. Let me put it that way. And there was no rift or fight between the Lester administration and us, because we had no part there. We had no part to play.
They drop out.
Right, they drop out. We don't know the reason why they drop out. So, predicated on that, we say, okay, then let's set the stage so that we can let the librarian pool know what's going on. So we had a leadership meeting. We voted on it as leaders. We agreed as an administration that we take it to the body, because that's what the Constitution says. We took it to the body. Now, taking it to the body, we brought it on the floor. The body voted
to send a letter to the board.
To ensure that we send a letter to the board for the audit, so that they can know whatever we are saying, because we received 2,000 and change. Now,
okay, if they didn't tell anything audit, how did they receive the 2,000?
We'll get to that, because there was a transitional team.
Oh, okay, got you.
There was a transitional team. So
they turned over to the transitional team.
According to the transitional team, that's what they turned over to them. So when it turned over to the transitional team, and interestingly, it was in the same office that we sat for the transitional team to make, after we took over few weeks, the transitional team made that report right in the same place. And so And so in that, they said, we're going to work on getting the website and the bank account. We needed a bank account. It was critically important because we did not know. We just saw a check of 2,000, a money order of 2,000, and they want, 1,000 here for, collection for hall, and then 1,000 here as the operating balance. So it was 2,000, I think 2,400 or 300 between that one. I can't be exact on the figure now. But fast forward, we didn't get the transition was not that smooth, but we had to move on. So the body voted, and subsequently we sent the communication to the board.
Okay. So what was the board reason now for denying? Because I read it, they said that there was no substantial evidence as to why they can do the audit. Now, you remember said no audit. Legislature doesn't have to mean somebody committed a crime.
Right.
So why do you think the board refused that?
Well, let me put this there because I'm not in the board's mind at the time, right?
Yeah, but they sent you a letter. You read it.
They sent a letter, yeah. and we read a letter to the general public, and we also read a letter in the executive meeting, and we had a discussion about it. Now, first of all, in that particular context, the board filled the librarian people with our part. Our responsibility was to ensure that.
Who was the board chairman at that?
At that time, it was between Eric Tay and John Bernard, but John Bernard had put his resignation.
John Bernard read all he said.
Right, John Bernard. No. In fact, let me get on that point. Credit to John Bernard. Credit to John Bernard. We had a conversation that John Bernard, per the Constitution, if you read Article 8 in the Constitution, it talks about the responsibility of the board. And even if there is a argument and so forth, somebody is investigated, they have to recuse themselves. John Bernard agreed to recuse himself. He had no issues with it.
Okay.
Of recusing
so
himself.
Who then took over that?
And mind you, in the same token, John Bernard, before becoming the board chair in our administration, had resigned from the Lester Myers administration as vice president. I got that information. Yeah. Okay. So Eric at the time was
Eric Tay. So Eric Tay was the board chair. That letter got in.
The letter got into the board's hand. I don't want to
then the board.
The board's hand.
He was the chair, so that right. When he received it, he received it.
And so, what they decide to do going forward, it's not our prerogative. We've done what the librarian wanted us to do. So our issue is, we also did not want to make it look like a witch hunt or creating problems. It was incumbent on the board to ensure that these audits were constituted. Now, one of the reasons they gave was, and we should point out. I'm not quoting the letter well here, but I can paraphrase the letter. We should point out where specifically they want for us to direct them to audit. So then my question becomes, if we are telling you to do your job, then we've already done the job. It doesn't make any sense, right? And so the rationale, the excuse they gave, I believe was flimsy. I believe it was unfair to the librarian at the time, and I did not see it to be holding water. But again, it was the board's decision, and again, never wanted to create any kind of chaos or make it look like we're witch hunting. So we left it as that, and today on the record, it is the board who did not do the job.
Fail the librarian board once again. Well, Mr. President, thanks for that clarification. Now, we are going to come to current event, but before we come to current event, I just had to throw them away in.
Sure.
According to a reliable source,
yes,
Mr. Eric Tek wanted Mr. Achikra to go with you as vice president when you're trying to run. When you said no, he then supported the Lester Myers administration. Is that true or not?
No, that is not true.
So, Mr. Eric Tek never recommended, that's why I say that. According to Mr. Eric Tek never recommended at any time that you should get Achi as a vice president. Be honest here.
So no, I'm an honest man. I'm a straight shooter. Okay. I don't. The same way I don't want anybody playing little games. I don't want to play.
So I mean, if you make your answer short, we can move on to current now.
So here was the case. When I give my words to people, I give my words.
Okay.
I don't believe in, especially politically or whatever it is. I think sometimes some people got issues with me because of my personality and what I stand for. When I tell you I'll do the thing, I'll do it. If I'm not, I will do it. And so there were a couple of options to run with me as vice president. There were a couple of options. We met. It was Eric, Flomo, Achi, and myself. We met at a Burger King.
Eric, bro, two of them say Papillon.
No.
Okay, what happened?
We met at a Burger King. First, they wanted to suggest somebody else who was not part of the planning.
Oh, so it was
And
three of them that came to suggest.
Right.
Come out to you.
No, they didn't come to suggest
But
somebody.
you said they wanted to suggest.
No.
Who wanted to suggest?
But we're not getting to it now.
Okay, go ahead.
So they wanted us to bring someone in to run with me as vice president. And I said to them, no, we already had prior meetings. We agreed that Achi was going to be the vice president. I will not betray Achi. I don't do that.
So y'all had a meeting that
Yes.
Achi should run with you.
We agreed on it.
All of y'all.
Yes.
With everybody.
Everybody. When we got to the last meeting, we agreed again in that meeting that Achi will run with me. And I said it emphatically that as long as the group of people that were supporting us agreed, there is no way. I'm taking my words back. And the same thing applied to the current vice president, Emmanuel. I just want to use the parallel here because the current vice president, Emmanuel, when former vice president Topiga resigned because he was running in Liberia for the elections, right? For a representative seat in Mark County, right? He wrote a letter recommending Emmanuel to be the vice president to end the term. And for me, when we are in a group and we make a decision, I will pay the price. I will stick with the group's decision and pay the price. I don't undermine the group. I don't hurt the group. Because at the end of the day, it's about relationship building. It's about keeping trust and keeping your word. Also. Yes. And so when Emmanuel was proposed by the vice president, Topiga, he called me on the phone after he sent a resignation letter. I told him straight up, I said, Mr. Vice President, this is not my decision. We have an executive team. We'll go to the meeting. We went to the executive meeting. We voted unanimously. We agreed that Emmanuel will be the vice president for the rest of the term and run the next term. That's what the body agreed on.
And
so I stuck with that. And so with the Achi situation,
after all of that agreed now.
After we all agreed,
then what happened?
I personally did not know if anybody else had any sinister plan, because for me, I'm very vocal. If I have an issue, I'll say it.
Yeah.
I don't keep things in my heart. I don't pass it around. If you see me not talking, I'm processing things. It doesn't mean I got something against you or whatever it is, right? But long story short, Achi, I stuck with Achi's vice presidency, and I told him in the last meeting we held, I said, win or lose, we stick with the team.
Okay.
And until today, I think it was a good decision because, you know, we're still able to make our relationships. And
you're making my audience just want to grab the TV right now. So what thing happened? You won't get Achi.
I carry Achi. How will you say what thing happened? But I'm not saying yes.
Oh, okay.
I stuck with the program. In fact, that's what brought the betrayal.
What the betrayal? Of what?
Look. These things I don't want to.
No. This is the TV is on court. Once you hear, you in the hot seat. You can't leave something done because
that's why Eric never supported us.
So Eric got mad because you stuck with Achi.
Most definitely so.
Why, he wanted you to change Achi?
Most definitely so.
Who did he want you to get?
I have no clue, and he didn't say in the meeting.
He didn't say anything to you?
No.
He just
but on election day, he's supporting Lester there and bringing other people on. They go get cars and other things. Look, the level of betrayal.
So he sat in the meeting where you guys all of you agree on Achi. Then at the end of the day, he support the opponent.
Yes.
Oh my God.
These are facts. And you know what? Guess what? Even after all of that, guess what?
I swear.
No. Even after all of that, guess what? Eric is still a brother. We maintain the relationship.
I understand.
And my respect for him and admiration is still there. But the truth of the matter is this. The lesson learned here is this. For me, when I'm in a team, I'm committed to the team.
You're a team player.
And when we vote on something, even if I'm a personal thing that I never wanted, right? Let's say I never wanted Bolay to work with me. And the rest of the group agree, I will adhere to what the group says.
Exactly. They're a team now.
And that's what we did in our administration to ensure that every decision we made, the body voted on it.
Thank you, Mr. President. So you hear our former president, Mr. Steve Bolay here. I hope you guys enjoy this. And let me tell you the reason why I know somebody said, but why the men going way back? No, I'm going way back. Everything you have to build up a foundation because there was a lot of things that was said in the community as what I heard from people. During remember Bollitv was not existing. But why did they vote for Steve Bolay and things that happened? So first, I want to let Steve Bolay to clarify all those things first, so people can catch up with what we come and say here. So you can know what kind of leader he was, what happened here in the administration, and to now. So Mr. Bolay, now to current event. The current president, for every time he has the chance to speak, he will criticize your administration. He did not do anything for the people. He even criticized your own bereavement. He even said, he even came to a point one time when I was in a June 29th meeting, 2024 meeting, where he stated in that meeting that you did not have anything about membership fee. He the first person that bringing it, everything. He the first. He's the first that bring the college. I mean, he's the first person to get research center. He's the first person to do essay competition. He's the first person to do almost everything here. He's the first person to bring fee. I mean, he's the first person to even do quarterly report. He said you'll have no record of any quarterly report. One time I remember he pulled a report up, it was something about July 26th report. He pulled up. I mean, did you guys ever do any of these things in your administration? If so, is there any documentation? Maybe you can send to me so I can show to the book. Because that is an allegation for the former president. I mean, the current president. I apologize for the current president.
Well, you see, I agreed to come to this interview because sometimes we don't have the opportunity to speak to everybody.
Correct.
Individually.
That is correct.
But I believe this interview will help clear some air. Put some things, the goal is to put some things to bed and not to create division or anything. Because
that is correct.
Because when you read the Constitution, you understand that the objectives and the aim in Article 4 is for us to unite, to promote our community, and provide, different opportunities and so forth. And the sacrifices we've made as leaders. And I say this to say, I want to commend all of the past leaders, because every leader that has served the Liberian Association has made some kind of contribution. Whether you supported them or not, whether you like them or not. And I think in doing so, we should also use the opportunity to honor each other. Where the facts need to be clear out, we need to clear out.
That is correct. That's what the media is here for.
Right. And so I come back to the question you asked. There was a lot of things in it. But let me start off by saying that I think it is unfair, it is disrespectful, it's disingenuous for President Harry to continuously attack us. It's not fair. We can say in Labrador, they play where there's no fault, you don't look for force there. All the laws we're making about President Harry, God first. It's our administration that brought President Harry to the Liberian Association. Our administration gave him position. Our administration gave him opportunity to serve as the July 26th head.
Well, the man say, administration.
He worked there, the records are clear. I sent you the documentations. It's on the report. Well, the reason I'm laying these premises is this.
Yeah, answer the question.
No, I have to lay the premise to this because
listen, today is your time. Because let me say something. The reason why I'm going to give this interview is personally to me, to Mr. Bolay here. Let me make it clear to you. Since after the elections, when I established Bollitv, I did a lot of investigation in the community. People had a lot of things to say. And I've been a while, I've been after Mr. Bolay to come here. And the current president keep going at them until they're like, okay, you know what happened? We have to respond. And one of the things the media is for is to bring opposing view. Everybody have to be heard. Like I always told people, I'm not the judge or jury. You're the community. You hear everybody. So you can know the true story from the people that said. We don't want DC in the community here. There's not division. Just like you clearly say. Some people have to kind of say the fact. God, when you know the truth, perception play a big role in the community to come from. So I'm going to give Mr. Bolay a lot of times here to clarify a lot of things here. So please bear with. So Mr. Bolay, go ahead.
So thank you. This is not Harry's first time disrespecting us, our administration, and by extension, dishonoring and disrespecting me personally. I've done nothing personal to Harry before that I know of. In fact, if anything, our administration will work with Harry. Harry is a brother. He's a friend. But one of the reasons that prompted me to, you've been behind me. You've been behind me to do an interview. I always tell you, I said, no, I'm not coming. I'm not going to do an interview. I will leave the people, let them lead. Wherever we can help, we'll do whatever we need to do. But I think it's okay for us to speak to some issues and clarify it. This disrespect and attack on us started, for those of you who don't know, in the general meeting. President Harry, in the general meeting, when questioned about things, he took it personal and he got mad. in a general meeting, President Harry threatened to call police to kick me out of the meeting. Can you imagine?
Oh, so after threatening the vice president, he also threatened you?
In a meeting, in a general meeting, before his inauguration, he threatened he will call the police to kick me out. He never even stopped there. In a general meeting, when I raised my hand up as the former immediate president, President Harris skipped over me and said he would not recognize me in the meeting to speak. That level of disrespect must stop. And if we don't speak to it today, it will not stop. Let me say this to everybody in this community. I'm cool, but I'm not a pushover. I'm not a pushover. If you think you're going to push me over, you're wasting your time because I can bounce, I can hit back really, really hard. Harry is disrespectful to the court. And not disrespecting my character to somebody else, man, I'll bring it to me. And he never stopped there. He had this conversation with you, attacking us again. Let me say this to the public. Harry lied. We are not responsible for Harry administration. Let Harry tell you what he's doing. He needs to stop attacking us. And let me prove that Harry lied. First of all, I know that Harry lied is a fact because Harry never attended more than 4 meetings in our administration, even though he had a position. Even though he was not qualified per the Constitution to even run. But you see, our administration were peaceful, calm, and accommodating, and respectful and mature. So guess what? We let all of that slap because of the love and the sake of this community. We don't want to bring division in this community. Harry lied. We made more than 1 reports, quality reports. Look, after every event, we made reports. Financial report. Not only that, we posted in the chat room after we deliberated in the general meetings. We also posted in the chat room for clarity so everybody can know. Quarterly reports, we made sure we submitted it to the board. And I sent you a copy of some of the quarterly reports. So President Harry was not truthful. He lied. And he needs to stop this. Look, I sat in, let me tell you something. Let me say this. I sat in the chat room and I saw President Harry attack an entire community, the Grand Jury Association. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. If you have an issue with someone as a leader, it's okay for you to, you can be the president of the community and be stirring all of these drama and the noise. You can do that. And people want to sit and think everybody will just sit and just be quiet. So President Harry was not a factor. That's not true. He lied. And this is what sparked the situation in the general meeting for him to say he will call police on me. Because I told him he lied and he needs to stop attacking us in the general meeting. I told him in the general meeting.
Every chance he gets, he comes after you guys.
Well, it boils down to one thing. It boils down to one thing. One of the two. Either he's looking for an excuse or scapegoat, or he's intimidated or afraid of somebody or something. Because all of the times we ran or led this community, and now one day we attacked Lester Myers, attacked the previous administration. You can go check the record. It was never there in the general meeting. In fact, when the issue of us auditing the past administration, the Lester Myers administration came out, we voted on it. People wanted to haul and pull it. I told them, I said, no, we're not going to do this, please. We begged the Librarian in the meeting that day and told them, say, please, let us not do this. And I said we should read the board. We read the board. Whatever the board says, that it will go back. Even when we came back and read the message that the board sent us, many people were infuriated. They were mad. They were pissed off. We told them, please, let us not do this. That we the one here now. That we the one here now. Let's focus on what we have to do. We have never dishonored or disrespected any previous administration. But Harry has the constant habit of going in public and lying on us, disrespecting us. And then when he moves on, he can't laugh for you, and he's joking. No, this is not a joking matter. It's reached the point where it has to be handled. He has to be told the truth. He has to be told the truth. And I will wish that other members of the community will rise up and let him know what he's doing. He needs to stop. Instead of calling him behind closed door, because his attitude is spilling over, it's coming in the public. It's created so much noise in the chat room. So much noise. There is no reason for this. There is no reason for this. And we're not on him, and not like behind him or what. In fact, to the contrary, every noise that Harry brought behind himself today, I warned Harry about it.
Bolala, 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 Bolala.
I call Harry on Sunday after the one Saturday. Let me say this to the library. Some things you don't know. Some things you don't know. And not everything men can talk.
The men talk all the other TV here. They want to obsess on court TV here.
You know what it means? You know what it means for somebody to lose an election on the election night? You're the same person that clean the hall that they meet the BU in. You clean the hall.
So the hall where Harry then BU in. You don't clean it.
The only two people that helped me were Achi was coming to pick up his son. And he saw me cleaning up and Winnie. Winnie was about to leave. She said she saw me clean up, she cleaned up, she helped Winnie from the Grand General Association. We cleaned up that place, that entire place. Can you imagine? Outside and other things, we packed those things and we throw them away. Why do it? To tell you that how much we care for our community and we respect our people. It doesn't matter who wins. On Sunday, after the elections, I placed a call to Harry. After that night, when we made our speech and we conceded, I still call Harry to follow up with him on Sunday. And I advise him about some things. I never stop there. I pick up the next day. Subsequently, we talk on the phone every day. Why is the attack? What is the disrespect? What is it about? What is the goal?
I want to know too.
And so that's why we had to come and have this conversation. Had Harry kept this, what he did in the general meeting by disrespecting some of us, can you imagine? Harry look at me in the general meeting and tell me, say he will call police on me. Harry look at me in the general meeting.
But what is specific thing that you did?
Only because he brought the same lying conversation that we did not have. We did not make any report. He made a report. He made a report. Everything is he. So I went on my phone and I printed it out and I showed it to the members of the community. When he started first, I told him, I said, Harry, please stop. I said, you need to stop this. So this is not about us.
So President Harry,
you can't pass around and be accusing people. Look, let me tell you something. For me, I was trained, I was raised, when somebody lies, you say they lie.
That was not true.
So he lied. Let me say it to the library. He lied. In fact, we made not only reports, but we never made the kind of clumsy report that Harry then made, and they pass it around and say, oh, they I don't know, comprehensive report.
We were coming to that report. We're gradually getting there, Mr. President.
Like I said, and I'm saying straight up to Harry, yeah. I will say to the librarian, Harry need to arrest his body. He got the wrong person. Oh no, I'm not that. Oh no, I'm not that guy, Harry. Whoever told you say I was that guy, tell them say they fool you. Tell them say they made a mistake. And that's Steve Bolay.
Mr. Bolay, during your administration, did you ever try to go into that channel to even delete or restrict people?
Never, ever.
I mean, during your administration, the community made you president, right?
Right.
That community chat room,
right,
is for the community.
Right, most definitely so.
Let me ask you, during your administration, or do you know about any past administration that ever went in that chat room to even go accuse or attack member or delete anybody in there?
In fact, I advise.
What as far as deleting executive members?
In fact, I advise Harry behind closed door. Let me tell you some of the recommendations I've given him and beg him to not do.
Tell the people, because I don't know anything there.
Listen, I advise Harry as a brother and as a friend. Harry, stay away. You are the leader. You should be the last person to speak. Don't interact. Don't do certain things in that chat room. It reflects on us. Stop it. I've told him more than once. No, the first time it caught my attention, a couple of people reached out to me and said, Mr. Former President, Harry restricted the entire chat room.
Yeah.
Nobody can post, nobody can. I called him. When I called him to tell him that Harry, this is not the right thing to do. Whoever is doing wrong, you can call them behind closed door, or you can reach out to us in the administration, like we will do.
Have discussion.
Have a discussion.
And discussion.
Then, you know, but don't restrict, because you got grown people in there. People are doing business in there, action, other things, right? People put their announcements in there and stuff like you can't do that. It's not the right thing. You know what he told me?
Tell the community what he told you.
Why I never call him to tell him thank you for the hall. The hall.
So you call him
to talk about the complaint
in the chat room to stay away
and to advise him as a brother to stay away
on that topic. And
he said, why I never call him to tell him thank you, but when they bring complaint to me, then I call him. So you know what I told him?
For hall? What hall is he thank you for?
The community center that they got.
Oh, you mean the resource center?
The resource center.
Oh, okay.
So you know what I told him? I say, Harry, first of all, I'm a man who makes informed decisions. I don't make decisions when I'm pressed. No, I don't. And if I'm going to come in public to support or praise anything, trust me, I've got to have some information. I said, first of all, I don't know how you acquired the house. I don't know who name is in. I don't know the details. I don't know the rent or whatever it is. I look like somebody who's going to jump on your bandwagon of prison washing. Do I look like somebody? I look like. Sorry, Bolay, to say this.
This TV is uncensored and so
let me say this.
The only thing you can't threaten here, you can't
let me say this.
Personal or family and all that. But what I say, you can go to the issue.
No, I'm asking you. When you see me, like my physical morphology, I look like a prison worshiper. I look like somebody who can suck up to my friend, man, or politician, or other people to praise them. No, when you do what is right, I will commend you. I will support
how
you.
it's supposed to be.
But I'm not a prison worshiper. So I told you straight up on the phone. You know what I told you? I said you might carry that thing somewhere else. If you're looking for prison worshiper, don't bring that to me. When I know the details, if I were out of town when they made that announcement, so I came back to town and I called him. Only to advise him to open the chat room. He was adamant that he was not going to open the chat room. And I told him, I said, Ari, this is not a good start. I told him, I said, this is not a good start. And I told him, I said, if you keep the chat room closed, where people are censored and you restrict the chat room, I will leave the chat room. And I will never, I will remove myself. I will never be part of that chat room because this is a democratic society. We were in the chat room there during the election or before the election. People came and insulted us, attacked us. And now one day you also all restrict anybody, whatever it is. We handle things responsibly in a safer way or so forth. And that's how it should be. For Harry to pass around and think that everybody will fall in line. No, I don't fall in line. He doesn't get the message. He doesn't understand that the president of the Republic of Liberia, I can condemn him. That Harry,
this is a community thing. Why you? But let me ask you something. Just most recently, right? Because we're going to come to this report. Because the man condemned me, and I know wrote any report. So now he So we're going to come to. But before we go, just recently, the man deleted my media because he failed to comprehend what was written. A title of what the guests were about get said in an interview with me. After the executive went after him and told him that he was wrong, and allow me back, he came back, took me out, and deleted the entire executive. I mean, in your case as a president, Mr. Former President, as a leader, what would you think you would have done in that case? Would you attack the media? Would you go and delete, try to silence the media in this democratic country we live in, the world that we live in?
You know, during the campaign, during the debate, Harry showed the Liberian people who he was. They never paid attention.
What do you mean show the people? You have to be specific so we get some.
First of all, during the debate, Harry was very uncouth, disrespectful not only to me or to our team, but also to the moderators.
What are you listening to, Mr. Moderator? So I'm confused. What's really happening on the team?
We're going to move forward. But again, you are not debating the moderator. I know there are a lot of sentiments running through the system, but you are debating Steve and you're going to get the brand people. However, you cannot debate with the moderator. You will clarify when I get the time. When I get the time, you'll add what you want to say, please.
You refer to me as a liar and you don't want me to respond to that?
You will respond, sir. Okay. Can you give me the minute to my follow-up question and you'll have the time? Please.
Yes. I'm on the team of Harry Cornian, and I think his temperament. I told him to calm down a little bit.
Very controlling, attacking, abrasive, and aggressive towards them. He showed who he was. He showed that he had temperament problem. He showed that he's unable and unfit to lead the community. But they didn't listen. They didn't pay attention. They bought into lies, the fake euphoria that were created, and the gossip and propaganda and funny thing that they talked. The community bought into it, and some of them went and voted for him. But Harry showed that night who he is. The records are, go check it.
Are you saying this current president have a temperament issue?
Not only that he has a temperament issue, he has a dictatorship issue. He thinks he must control everybody. That's what he thinks.
He's not going to work with Bollietv yet. Well, nobody will control a TV or control my people in the country. Let me say something. Any leader, starting from the current one, think that you can come here and tend to be a dictator in your hand, will remove you from power. You become corrupt, will remove you. You become a dictator, will remove you. Will come out with a campaign to take you from power. This is a community-based thing here. This is a community. You're supposed to be practicing to be a real leader here. If going forward, I want to be recommending, to people in the community, before anybody can take our community leadership here, we need to do a thorough background check on our person.
You know,
For real.
you know, when Harry then took over, one of the places and one of the things that I knew that it was a sign of dictatorship was when he read the announcement for the meetings.
But Mr. We'll go to that, but you didn't answer that. The man deleting, trying to.
It is absolutely wrong and disrespectful. There is no other way.
They all were elected together as a team. Now he above them or they above him.
It is wrong and disrespectful to them. But guess what? Guess what? I don't blame Harry. You know what I blame?
I blame the executive.
It's sweet for them and I blame them because you know what? When Harry misbehaving on other people in there, they don't come and check him. They have the right to vote Harry out.
You know what I told one of the executives? If I, James Bolay, were on our executive team, they personally will not be in power right now. Because I will be writing no confidence in him. I will forgive you, but I can't forget. I will be writing no confidence. I will be removing him from power. Because we equal. You can't disrespect me and stay in power. No way.
That was a blatant disrespect, not only to the community, but
the executive. Wait.
It's a disrespect.
I would say the other interview I said, they want to say that if our partner executive, they are personally in power right now.
It's a
because you will not have any meeting, I will disrupt every meeting you have because I will be voting no confidence in him.
And you
can't disrespect. And you know what? He has a female vice president. His vice president. And other members told him, look, my man, you run the man. Go, we'll pull the man back to calm the noise in the executive. You touch the poor media, the entire people, the community coming after you. As a person, you should think. Say maybe I was wrong for touching the person.
But Bolay, let's put this.
I mean, you the former president. We want to dive into your IQ. Did you ever even have any kind of altercation in our chat room?
No. Let me say this to you. The first thing is, Harry needs to apologize to you, the Liberian people, and your media entity. Let me tell you why. Maybe Harry did not read it well. It wasn't you that wrote that. You were quoting what was on the interview. You took an excerpt from the interview and posted it. That was it. So it wasn't you. So the fact that he attacked you and removed you from the chat room and threatened people, and we get to that bogus policy they wrote. Because
this is all in a package. We'll get there gradually.
Let me say this to our people. You know, I've been silent. I've been quiet. It's been 6 months.
We made you president.
Harry then been 6 months since last Saturday. He's been president since 6 months. I told Harry last Friday that I will be very active and involved in the community. If other leaders want to keep quiet and want to be silent, that's fine. Everybody has the way they can operate. I was quiet and silent for 6 months because I wanted to give Harry and his administration the opportunity. But we will not allow this community to be derailed, disrespected, dishonored by Harry and his administration. Oh, that will not happen.
Mr. Bolay.
That will not happen. I want Harry and entire administration to know that. That will not happen.
Mr. Former President, I'm going to ask you, I want you to get on it. Is Bollitv dividing this community?
Anybody who says you are dividing the community, let me tell you what they are doing. They are afraid of the truth. Speaking the truth does not mean that you're dividing anything. In fact, this is part of the problem we have in our country. When the person you support is doing wrong, you must stay quiet and keep back. And that's wrong. You know, we who the religious people, we who Christians, right? You know, they used to teach us in school or in Bible school or in Sunday school, they say, Adam was not there when Eve ate the fruit. That's lie. That's not true. Adam was right there. Yes, because you know what the Bible said? The Bible said, and she gave unto him. Anywhere you see the word and anything it means plus. Exactly. So that means you were right there. You know what? You know why she gave it happen that way? Because he kept mute. Most of us Liberians, we see our leader doing wrong. We quiet on it when people want to say the truth or want to react. Then I think we come and want to play morality and we want to be good and we want to be. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me say this to our people. All are good. Every human being has good and bad in them. It depends which one you speak to. What Harris has started in this community, if we don't post up to him, don't stand up to him to do what is right and make this community about the Liberian people and stop the attack and the disrespect, we're setting a wrong precedent. And Harry can rest assured he has entire administration. Whether they both want out, they want out. That one, I'm not concerned. My concern is Harry will do what is right in this community going forward. Or you can rest assured.
Bolala, 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 Bolala,